Hello, my name is Tom Lenave, and I'm the officiating coordinator and head referee for NFL Flag powered by USA Football. I've been a part of NFL Flag for nearly 2 decades. During that time, I've held a wide variety of responsibilities, including coach, commissioner, game official, and regional manager. I've even had the opportunity to travel overseas and help to grow the game internationally. Your role as a game official is essential to flag football programs everywhere. Players, coaches, and parents rely on your ability to ensure that the game is played within the rules and with a keen eye on player health and safety. This course will focus on 3 important on-field aspects for flag football game officials: positioning, pace, and penalties. This course, along with the USA Football Fundamentals of Officiating course, will help set the foundation you will need to be successful in your role as a flag football game official. Let's get started.
Officials play an important role in the sport of flag football. From interactions with coaches and players, to calling penalties, to moving the game along at a good pace, all while making sure player safety is always front of mind. All of this begins with being in the right place to cover the maximum amount of action. In NFL Flag, it is the responsibility of the head referee to make sure all crew members understand their roles, whether working in a 2- or 3-person crew. You're part of what's going on the field, but you are not part of the game action, so be sure to position yourself on the perimeter of play. Stand far enough behind the quarterback to allow room, or use the sidelines as a boundary if you are a wing official. This offers the clearest sight lines while leaving the field open to the players in this fast-paced game. Let's look at the roles and responsibilities that flag football game officials hold. The head referee is the leader on the field. He or she controls the game, serves as the lead communicator, and provides the last word when necessary. The head official positions in the offense's backfield at a comfortable distance from the quarterback, typically about 5 yards behind and slightly off to the side, where the quarterback sets up to take the snap from center. The head official's responsibilities include being in charge of pregame checks for proper equipment, including mouthpieces, footballs, and proper flag belts, handling the coin flip to determine possession, keeping the official score, keeping the official game clock, 7-second verbal passing clock, and optional play clock, checking for equipment and obstruction issues before the snap, such as missing flags, untucked jerseys, belt issues, etc., spotting the ball and signaling ready for play once officials are in place, monitoring the quarterback through the release. Starting in pre-snap, here is the mental progression for the head referee in a 3-person crew. Scan the offensive backfield for proper formation shifts and motion. Who takes the initial snap from center? Is there a handoff executed effectively, thus stopping the 7-second passing clock? Pick up the rusher, looking for a possible impeding call on offense. Follow the quarterback and the ball through play's end. The line judge sets his or her position at the line of scrimmage along the sideline before each snap. Responsibilities include marking the line of scrimmage with a beanbag or other form of marker to maintain the spot each play, monitoring the 30-second play clock, watching for offsides, false start, illegal procedure, and illegal forward pass calls. Once the ball is thrown or run across the line of scrimmage, the line judge must move downfield quickly, covering the sideline and following the ball to the play's end. Starting in pre-snap, here is the mental progression for the line judge in a 3-person crew. Look to make sure all offensive and defensive players are on side. Scan the defense to locate all players. Determine who is legal to rush at the snap and who must wait until a legal handoff has been executed by the offense. Scan the offensive backfield for proper shifts of formations and motion. After the snap of the ball, Look to the backfield to see if a legal handoff is executed, allowing all defensive players to be eligible to rush. Look for an illegal forward pass. Follow the ball quickly downfield until the play ends. The rush or back judge begins each play by walking off 7 yards from the line of scrimmage to mark the rush line for the defense. This mark must be set every snap before the head referee signals ready for play. The rush or back judge must then quickly move deep into the secondary after the snap in order to be in position for calls as well as potential scoring plays. The rush or back judge's responsibilities include setting the 7-yard rush line each play, positioning on the opposite sideline as the line judge, monitoring the secondary game clock as backup, moving downfield and getting deeper than the ball on every play, watching for illegal rush and most downfield calls, including scoring plays. Starting in pre-snap, here is the progression for the rush or back judge in a 3-person crew. Scan the defense to locate all players. Determine who is legal to rush at the snap and those that must wait until a legal handoff is executed by the offense. Focus on all players behind the 7-yard rush line at this point to determine if an illegal rush call should be made at the snap. If a player left spot early, look to see if they legally reset behind your mark. Move eyes to backfield to see if any handoffs are executed. Move quickly downfield trying to stay ahead of the ball to rule on all plays until their end. Football is a sport unlike any other. All players must execute their given assignments for any play to work effectively. Officiating crews are the same way. Game responsibilities, positions, and sight lines must be clearly defined and communicated throughout the game to maximize what the crew sees as a whole. The speed and nature of NFL flag requires crews to work the sidelines and leave the field to the players. Trust your partners, work toward everyone's strengths, and communicate clearly. This will create the best possible outcome for everyone. Ideally, flag football officiating crews have 3 members, with a referee, side judge, and rush or back judge. For many leagues, though, this is a luxury, and officials must learn to operate with just one partner. Let's look at how to adapt these 3 roles into a 2-person crew. Officials must see a penalty to call a penalty, and with one fewer official on the field, we must understand that field coverage diminishes, so adjustments must be made. Communicate this clearly with coaches and players in a positive way. This often resolves potential issues when a call is not made, thereby avoiding disputes that might happen during the course of a game. Here is how 2-person officiating crews should approach positioning. The head referee in a 2-person crew often moves to the line of scrimmage where the line judge normally stands. This position allows you to properly rule when a player is out of bounds and to get downfield when necessary. Still, the number 1 responsibility remains with keeping eyes in the backfield. Ask yourself, where will I do the most good when it comes to positioning? On the line of scrimmage. After the snap, you must close the distance between yourself and the quarterback to monitor the play, then follow the ball to the play's end. Behind the quarterback. Take an initial look in after the huddle breaks and positions are set to ensure everyone is onside. Keeping focused on the quarterback from behind, make your best judgment on illegal forward pass calls, then move downfield following the ball to the play's end. Along with the game clock and 7-second verbal passing clock, the head referee must also keep the play clock, or assign that to the rush or back judge, along with all of the responsibilities of a head referee in a 3-person crew. Starting in pre-snap, here is the mental progression for a head referee in a 2-person crew. Are all players onside prior to snap? Scan the offensive backfield for proper shifts of formations and motion. Who takes the initial snap from center? Is there a handoff executed effectively, thus stopping the 7-second passing clock? Pick up the rusher, looking for a possible impeding call on offense. Follow the quarterback and the ball through play's end. The rush or back judge in a 2-person crew must be ready for a workout, since he or she has to cover most of the field beyond the line of scrimmage. Along with setting the 7-yard rush line, the rush or back judge monitors and maintains the secondary game clock or play clock as assigned by the head referee. Must get deep and ahead of the ball after the snap in order to be in the best position for calling all potential scoring plays. Starting in pre-snap, here is the mental progression for a rush or back judge in a 2-person crew. Scan the defense to locate all players. Determine who is legal to rush at the snap and those who must wait until a legal handoff is executed by the offense. Focus on all players behind the 7-yard rush line at this point to determine if an illegal rush call should be made at the snap. If a player leaves a spot early, look to see if he or she legally reset behind your mark. Move your eyes to the backfield to see if any legal handoffs are executed. Move quickly downfield to stay ahead of the ball in order to rule on all plays until their end. Flag football is a fast-paced sport that offers scoring opportunities every play. Still, as offenses near the red zone, the area between the 10-yard line and the end zone, you must be especially ready for goal line situations. As an official, the objective now becomes movement at the snap to cover the goal and end lines to be in the best possible position for scoring calls. Whether on a regular play or as part of an extra point try, it is imperative that crews have a plan in place for these crucial moments. You never want to be out of position to judge whether a foot crosses the goal line before a flag is pulled. Let's look at our game plan for a 2-person crew. The head referee maintains all 2-person crew responsibilities and positioning guidelines already set forth, with one exception. Once the ball is spotted on the 3-yard line or closer, the head referee must take up position at the line of scrimmage on the opposite sideline from the rush or back judge. At the snap, with eyes starting in the backfield following the mental progression, move to the goal line to rule on plays from there. The rush or back judge also maintains 2-person crew responsibilities and positioning, with 2 exceptions. For a ball spotted between the 3 and 10-yard lines, follow the mental progression and move to the goal line to rule on plays from there. If the ball is spotted inside the 3-yard line, move to the end line at the snap and rule on plays. The head referee's responsibilities and positioning does not change for red zone movements with the 3-person crew, but it does vary slightly for the other 2 game officials. The line judge continues to maintain all responsibilities and positioning until the ball is spotted at or inside the 3-yard line, where he or she should then move at the snap to the goal line and rule on plays from there. Also, on plays that start within 3 yards of the end zone, the rush or back judge moves to the back of the end zone with the snap. When the ball is spotted between outside the 3-yard line, the rush or back judge moves to the goal line at the snap. It is your responsibility to be in the best position possible to make the right call on the field. In the red zone, this becomes magnified. Having a defined plan on positioning and communicating these instructions clearly before the game and throughout the game maximizes your abilities to make the necessary calls.